Hello everyone, far, wide, above, beyond, below, and everything in between and all that jazz. I am Connor CaisealBoy Johnston here to do a little bit of a kind of casting, kind of chit chat sort of vibe for a VDL battle in one of the other divisions that I'm not playing in. And I was just asked, do you want to do some content for us? And I was like, you know what? Mix things up a bit. Very similar to what I did for my first ever, well, not first ever, but first VDL battle of this season, where I had to do a kind of a review sort of situation with my week one against Patrick Donegan. Very, very good battle to go back and watch. A bit of a self promo there, but we'll leave it at that. Today we have a match against what I have started dubbing in past recordings the green player versus the respective player, because I can't quite remember the team names off the top of my head without looking, and also I don't want to make any mispronunciations of names that we see on the screen. But that is, that's chit chat about me. We'll just jump into the battle to get more of a chit chat to be the meat, the flesh, the bony bit that we're all here for, which is, of course, the Draft League chaos that we can see in these battles. Because you can see why the green player, as we have dubbed them, is sending out a Jolteon and a Reboot, so going straight away for a fast sort of battle, and really it could be a bit of a scary situation for the Sneasel and the Porygon Z on this side of the field, because yes, Sneasel is fast, yes, Porygon Z is strong, but these Pokemon facing them are also fast and also strong. Reboot is basically a little tube, the little tube of Pringles you can get. Imagine if Cinderace was turned into one of them. That is what Reboot is. He doesn't have to have EV Light, it's not super bulky. It can run these move items that boost its stats because it's so fast, it's so strong. Not the strongest, not the fastest, but as we'll see here from this damage, it's going to do a lot with that U-turn with the Libero too, taking down Sneasel to its Sash, which means that our perspective player here is going to lose one of their utility Pokemon quite quickly, and if it can't really do its job straight away, it's only had like what could be considered a wasted feint really, because there was no protect and it did move to go for a Focus Sash breaking. It is kind of like put in a position where maybe you could force the switch for Sneasel, which can't actually happen this turn as the Jolteon will be one switching out and Sneasel's going to be going down, so it's going to be annoying for our perspective player. One their Pokemon down already, and Felipe gets two switches in one turn, which is really nice. Volt turn is really fun to see, especially if you're switching between a U-turn and a Volt switcher, or both of them just in one turn. You'll see Tridac will come out, and we're going into the Reboot, and we'll see how bulky this Reboot is, as it does not take it. No crit needed, no nothing needed, just how strong this Porygon Z is with its adaptability ability and those stab moves. Of course, get that double boost instead of the 1.5 times boost. Even further, as Machamp, one of my favorites, my main in Unite, comes out. You don't often see it in the normal VGC, maybe a couple of niche teams where it has a bit of its G-Max factor, but it's coming out here. It's going to be having all of its arms flailing about, and honestly, I'm happy to see it. I'm trying to hide my bias here to the players and the Pokemon on the field, but it's a good boy. It's a good boy. As we see, given the Pokeball, maybe if we're going for math, it could be Jolteon going big. No, Jolteon's going big. I don't know what was on the field there. Kind of like my own draft battle. I was like, hang on, what have I said now? But yeah, the Jolteon going big. It has options. It could have Ghost type moves. Could have anything. Let's go for a max lightning though, possibly to trying to rely on the fragility of Porygon Z, which getting that revenge kill for its Reboot friend lane is saying, I had a fragile Reboot, you have a fragile little Robo-Duck. And it's nice to see what comes from that, because now the pace is kind of set. Both players have Pokemon, Pokemon down, and they're bouncing back and forth. The Ridiculous takes a lot of damage from that, maybe revealing it is a super offensive version, which again in draft you can get away with as the Psychic goes down and gets a knockout onto Machamp. So another knockout there for our fella in green, and our perspective player is stuck down with a Steelix, and it's not going to take those electric taps. Well, it is, sorry, going to take these electric taps from the Jolteon. We could actually see a reverse sweep actually, because it can get those special defense boosts. It could possibly knock out Jolteon, and Ridiculous, and as it has like a super powerful Focus Blast, is going to be a problem. Again, you even have to knock out the Jolteon because it can't touch him. So our perspective player could just start using these stab max quakes, which could be super effective down the line as well, and just get that special defense boost. Maybe could go for a max steel spike to get defense boost as well, you know, later down the line. But you know, it's a thing that can happen. I'm actually lost for words. So I was like, oh, this is gone. This was gone game one. Max strike being forced out there. That's gonna do nothing. Steelix has an immense defense stat. Still, you know, I think defense is all. I went back to Gen 1 there, saying that like maybe all of them were like physical attacking. As we see, the focus blast does come out, doesn't get a knockout though, and this max quake, you know, will it be as powerful as I originally thought? Well, in terms of sheer damage, yeah, it's gonna be very strong to it's just one Pokemon. But the rolling ball, the running chicken, the everything I can think of a metaphor, what's that word? Simile. Any sort of like verbal diarrhea I can throw out there to describe what's happening. Because you have Phalanx coming in. Phalanx is it's a strong little group of comrades, you know. You know, it can do damage, you know, a max guard here, maybe just to stall on timer, maybe thinking there could be a bit of pace set to the game, get rid of the opposing Dynamax, and also find a little bit of information about what your opponent could bring. Max Strike again, likely the only move that the Jolteon can use into that target. Close combat, it's just for attacking, like it'll likely get it. Jolteon goes small, but you know, we'll find out where that Tri-Attack was coming from, and Phalanx can just pick up, you know, where it needs to be as our opponent is revealing the max Psychic, and I just saw the detail that is on the Steelix there, the Volt Switch going out, a little bit of a cheesy move. So close combat does just clear up. So the green player, our fella in green that we are calling them, the one on the far side, hey, again, one of those is going to be right. One of them is going to be right. No, is going to be our victor for this game. So we'll just use a little bit of movie magic to jump on through to our next game, and we'll see, you know, can we have a bit of a clawback? Or will we see Philippe take it completely? Okay, game 2 is here. So, you know, we'll see if there's any fresh starts or any changes. We do see Salamence and Grimmsnarl coming out. So a bit of a bulkier lead, maybe thinking, okay, yeah, they did have that pace set for them. Luckily the U-turn Volt Switch didn't happen, and that Intimidate was going to catch up these two physical attackers as well, so even better. And Grimmsnarl can just set up its screens if it has them. It can start, you know, if it gets a Reflect up, these Pokemon are doing no damage, and if they have to switch, you know, they're forced to switch in real-world situation. We do see that our perspective player here is thinking of going for that Ice Fang, you know, thinking, oh, with the Reflect and a -1, it could still get it, it's 4 times effective, it'll essentially become 2 times effective. We'll have to see if it's enough though, because Salamence, you know, it can be bulky, like in Draft League, there is a plethora of different ways you can run these Pokemon, as we do see though, a Dive Ball Pokemon, which I do believe was that Salamence, but I think it's a cool board with your Salamence in that, it's not overly fanatic. I'm one of the people who likes to try and get Pokemon to be fanatic, but it's a board choice, you know, as long as you catch your Pokemon, you catch your Pokemon. The Salamence does go big and honestly could threaten a lot of damage down straight away, given that, you know, could have a fighting move, a ground move, a water move, a flying move. It has loads of moves it can go with, and we're seeing a Dynamax in retaliation. Is that G-Max Machamp? Well, like what this Draft League, if you draft something like a G-Max, it's your G-Max, and I am so happy to be commentating over a G-Max Machamp, because I just love that, you know, I love it. It gets very little love in the game, as we see a trick there. We see a trick eject button. That is bad news bears if it goes onto the right Pokemon. It's not though, the Steelix is going to be getting the eject button. Max Whelmwind comes out, probably thinking now it's going to be the Dynamax option. It doesn't even go into it, goes into the Machamp. Maybe just trying to call bases. Got a bit of a cough there from talking a bit too much. Calling bases, but getting that stat drop, it's going to be fine. And oh, there's a eject pack even. So even better call no matter what you go into, as you know, now you forced your Steelix out, which, you know, not the end of the world if it's Dynamax. So a good call there by our perspective player, not going for a Dynamax on Steelix, but it does force them in a situation where one of their more fragile Pokemon can come out, and this Chi Strike, now how you pronounce that, does come out, and boy, oh boy, are we going to see some critical hits in this game. It's getting pumped. I love that. It's like, you can't see me on camera, but I'm flexing. There's the flame orb as well, which we just seen, well, I saw in team preview, but has been revealed. And I just saw an ice punch as well, I believe. So even more shenanigans coming out for this player, from our respective player, thinking you got me in game 1. You had some tricks up your sleeve, you had your vault turns, but I'm going to take this game 2. I'm going to show you who's boss. I'm going to go ahead and use all my own little tricks to knock you out. Will our little green fella, our little Philippe call it, as we see the fake tears from Grimms now, so revealing a special version of Salamence, and the trick going on to the Salamence as well, so removing any item that was there, being the eject button, we switch for a white herb. There's lots of things that are going on. The max airstream is probably going to get a knockout on the champions for the bulkiest, and we just saw the fake tears as well, and the airstream being stabbed super effective. Speed grows. We know it's not Moxie, which, you know, I personally, you know, from a third person perspective, think, you know, Moxie could work. If you go for like the fake tier strats, you can get that ball rolling with the stats, but Intimidate is too good to turn up in teams like this where you see a lot of attackers. And, you know, Steelix comes in without its Intimidate, but, you know, is it going to be enough? We could just see Max Whirlwinds come out. We could maybe see a Thunder Wave, we can maybe see light screens or reflective, whatever could come out from these situations to kind of force a bit of damage down, a bit of control down. If we see the respective player is hovering over the go supportive or offensive. Going offensive, we see Protect coming out from the Steelix, and we're going to see how much this Alakazam can do with the moves it has as Max Geyser comes on through. Could be some speed mechanics. I don't know if I saw any, like, we just see the air scream. Sorry, I'm again, like my own drafting battles, I'm getting caught ahead of myself. So there is going to be that damage down. Expanding Force does a nice chunk given its Dynamax, and he's going to force it out with the eject button, but is that enough to screw out our little green Philippe there? Philippe, what, like I said, one of them is right. Commenters are going to get annoyed at me, but one of them is right, and one of them, if I got it right the first time round, yay. If I got it right the second time round, also yay, because I said them both, so, you know, see how that works. The Spirit Break with the Alakazam does a lot of damage and misses the knockout, and the White Herb cheekily gives it its stats back, but will that be enough for the going forth? Because there are Psychic type moves to hit around the field, but they're not, well, one is Miss Stab, and, you know, they can both be kind of sorted out by screens that go up. As Expanding Force does come out, and Phoenix, I don't believe it's overly bulky, it might not take this. It lives on what is possibly a sash, the critical hit. Is it a phantom sash? It is not a phantom sash. If Phoenix to live that, that would be amazing. Close combat does come out, gets to miss on the snore, let's say misses the KO. So, this Psychic Fangs, it's going to get it. I believe in with the Psychic Fangs. Spirit Break, gonna kind of go to the Alakazam, gonna kind of show it on its merry little way. And then cleaning up here with Psychic Fangs, but it is going to be a complete cleanup, which we could see our green little friend here take out for the rest of the game. You see, we have got the Porygon Z to go into, but will Porygon Z be able to be that, you know, saving grace in the end game? That's a little virus bounce there. Salamence comes in, gonna drop an Intimidate down onto the Steelix, which is okay. You know, gonna stop this damage roll that go through. Porygon Z, however, you know, is gonna get that boost from it in the speed, and with this thing being a little bit faster, it's gonna be a little bit scarier. So have to see what can come from this. You know, Steelix has moves like Salamence, and so does Porygon Z. Porygon Z also has moves like Grimmsnarl, so this could be a reverse sweep. Don't quite know. As you see, a Tri-Attack comes out, goes into that Salamence, those attack drops, and can be a nice little clean knockout. And the Spirit Break coming through, just gonna go into that Steelix actually, not gonna worry about where the stat drops are going onto that Porygon Z. And it's gonna, you know, it's gonna, you know, put a little bit of a scare on it. You know, it's gonna be like a little bit of a firewall. No pun intended, of course, because it, like, it's pun intended because, you know, it gets screens up. By Grimmsnarl, as Reniculus comes in, and, you know, Reniculus is a bulky little embryo. It's gonna suck up those hits. It has Focus Blast. Look at that Focus Blast hits. it's going to do damage. Fake Tears, just in case they're not going for that Focus Blast. Psychic will probably take it out from here. Try attack, going into the Grimmsnarl. Will Grimmsnarl take it? Grimmsnarl can be made bulky. It does live the hit. No status, and the Psychic, given how strong it is likely going to take it. And Porygon Z goes down. So unfortunately, we didn't see the winner being from the perspective we were watching. And Philippe, our friend in green, now in black because of their trainer card, will take the second game and the overall win. So, that was a fun game to cast. I do apologize if it was very long-winded and a bit fast. I'm still getting used to kind of finding what sort of casting style I like for these draft leagues. But yeah, thank you for the opportunity to the VDL and the players involved to let me have a quick little solo cast over this match. And I hope to have a bit more involvement in the league in the future. And I look forward to how my matches can go, how my opponent's matches can go, and maybe I can see these guys in the playoffs. So yeah, again, many thank yous to everyone involved in the setup of this match. And I will see you in the future, both on the behalf of myself and the VDL and the players involved.